Good morning, everyone. Welcome. First, I hope everyone is healthy and safe and doing what they need to do to stay that way. My name is Andrea Ray, and I have the pleasure to serve as the President CEO at the Chamber. And on behalf of our board and staff, welcome to our SMART Southside Mitigation and Recovery Task Force webinar on hospitality and tourism with the Seattle Southside Regional Tourism Authority. Today, representatives will walk us through the recently launched King County Tourism Recovery Campaign and how South King County businesses can help with tourism recovery. As our hospitality and tourism industry has been hit particularly hard, we appreciate the opportunity to bring this update to you in partnership with the RTA. We're glad you have joined us today to learn more. Thank you. The Chamber will continue to produce webinars and virtual events on subjects impacting our community. You can register for all of our webinars and virtual events on our website, seattlesouthsidechamber.com. We know providing opportunities to share information and connect will make our community stronger and ready for recovery. We hope you can join us for more of these opportunities. And if you or your company is able to donate or sponsor our work so that we can continue to serve our community in and through every challenge, it would be greatly appreciated. Every little bit helps. Even a donation of $1 brings us closer to recovery and helps keep our nonprofit strong and able to serve our community. A few housekeeping notes. If you are joining us through Zoom, you can go ahead and type questions into the Q&A that's there at the bottom of your screen. If you are joining us through Facebook, please go ahead and type any questions that you might have for our presenters into the comment section, and we will do our best to get to those at the end of the program. A quick little note as well, as you can probably tell from looking outside, it's a bit stormy. And so we've had a couple little technical glitches here and some power loss. So if for some reason we do lose a connection or we do lose power, please just again, be patient with us as we will get it back and up and going as soon as we're able to. So again, thank you for your patience and your understanding. This copyrighted webinar is presented by the Seattle Southside Chamber of Commerce and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Chamber. Thank you to our sponsors, South King Media. Award-winning South King Media, Scott and Teresa Schaefer have been tireless advocates for our community. As small business owners themselves, they are dedicated to helping other small businesses grow, as well as keeping our community connected and informed. Scott is helping us today, as he is with all of our virtual events, broadcasting this webinar live on Facebook and serving as our producer, so that even more people are able to watch with us, ask questions, and record so that those that aren't able to join live can still access this very important information later at their convenience. Thank you also to our Alaska Airlines, hometown airline sponsor. And now we have a brief video to play courtesy of Alaska Airlines.
When we say take care, we mean it. As soon as COVID-19 hit, we moved quickly to implement nearly 100 actions to give our guests peace of mind when they fly. You'll see our commitment to next-level care in everything we do. And when it's time to fly, we'll be ready to take your travels to the next level too. Thank you for choosing us.
Thank you to Alaska Airlines. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Catherine Kurtzman, President and CEO at Seattle Southside Regional Tourism Authority, and Ashley Komar, Vice President, Marketing and Communications. They will walk us through their update today. Catherine, take it away.
Thank you, Andrea, and thank you everyone for being here today. As many of you may be aware, we have really good news. In September, King County Council officially approved emergency funding to help accelerate tourism recovery in the county. Now, I know we would all say we're a long way away from recovery, that in fact, we're in the early stages of reopening. But we're very thankful to Council members Dembowski, Coles-Wells, and Updegrove, who really going back to the early days of March when COVID hit and travel shut down, they were incredibly eager to move forward with something that would help speed up our industry's recovery. Along the way, other King County Council members aligned with this effort and voted unanimously to implement this program. And I think importantly, we're making a lot of friends on the King County Council on the value and the power of travel and tourism and its importance to our economy. Just a little bit of history on how we got here. You may recall back in May 2018, there was a fairly heated debate, public discourse, and certainly council activity on the stadium tax, sunsetting stadium tax or lodging tax that actually is not even collected until 2021. Through that process, we all felt the tourism industry did not get what it deserved in terms of a future funding source. So we banded together with Visit Seattle, our partner to the north, and prevailed in a smaller sense. If you recall, the Mariners won significant funds from the tourism tax budget bucket, and as did housing and arts and culture. And that, I think, really stuck in the minds of the King County Council members within that 2018 debate. So fast forward today, council members wanting to help our industry started to explore different funding options. The good news is what transpired. I think you're aware federal CARES funding has been made available through the county for this program. And it's important to note this funding option does not disrupt our future lodging tax streams that the county will be collecting, but it gives us relatively short window to spend the funds. And that's what we started doing. And that's what today is all about. We're excited and we realize recovery is a ways off, but anything we can do to open up things and anything we can do to get people out and about safely is a good thing. I think you're going to appreciate the creative and the whole intent around this campaign. I'd like to invite Ashley Komar, our VP of Marketing and Communications for Seattle Southside Regional Tourism Authority, to say a few words. She has been the creative project lead for the RTA, working in partnership with Visit Seattle's marketing team. We are undertaking this effort collectively for the benefit of our local businesses within Seattle Southside and Greater King County. Ashley?
Thanks, Catherine. We are so excited to be here today to be working on, to present this campaign to you. We've been working on this campaign to support businesses that have been hit so hard during these difficult times. Restaurants, attractions, hotels, museums, retail, they have all really felt the difficult strain during the time. This campaign has been a collaborative effort from the start, from when we started talking about doing the funding request to the research to campaign development. We have been working side by side with Visit Seattle to develop something we're really proud to share with you today. The goal of this campaign is to help businesses. However, we do walk a fine line with this campaign regarding COVID restrictions and safety measures. So please keep that in mind as we go through the presentation. We are trying to stay within those lines and make sure that we're following the rules and we're being responsible, but it is a delicate balance of trying to be aggressive and market the area while still being sensitive to the safety regulations and the nature of our current situation. All counties and all cities are having a difficult time, but King County is our home. So we want to inspire people to get out now and support our community. We want to make sure that we are talking to those people that are comfortable getting out, but safely. Those people who wear masks, who wash their hands, use hand sanitizer, practice social distancing. And we can find those people using data, so we are able to target an audience that we can identify that specifically cares about other people and their community. We want to encourage people to get out and visit an old favorite or discover a new one in their neighborhood, in their city, or anywhere throughout the county. We know people had big plans this year that were canceled. Vacations, birthday parties, anniversaries, all canceled. But instead of waiting for things to get back to whatever normal is going to look like, we want people to get out now and do something. We know tracking is important. We will be using data to track foot traffic at businesses, measure overnight stays, so staycations are going to be key, Of course, we will also be monitoring web traffic, social sentiment, and engagement. Now for our message. We are stir crazy. It's time. We want to do something. Our community needs us to do something. Why not get out safely? Our restaurants and local retailers need us. Our hotels need us. Our museums and attractions need us. The people of King County are itching to do something. So let's make it easier for people to feel their impact by making the do easy and personal. Let's do something. During the development of this campaign, we took several factors into consideration. We wanted to make sure that we had several viewpoints accounted for. We met with all the King County Council members or their designees to learn what was most important in their districts. We had interviews with different stakeholders, such as chambers, economic development staff, downtown associations, and other destination development organizations to get input on what would be most helpful to them and what we could focus on to highlight the strengths and the uniqueness of our county. Highlighting the diversity of the county was very important to all of our stakeholders and something that was the highest priority during all of our research. Featuring minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, small businesses was key to inclusivity of the campaign. Safety is also key to the campaign. We know we can only move forward as long as things stay safe and we stay responsible. We don't want to welcome so many people to the region that things shift course, and we keep this in mind through every touch point of the campaign. And lastly, we want to celebrate the people behind the businesses and share their stories to inspire pride in the community and pull at people's heartstrings and their sense of responsibility to instill a call to action that as individuals, we can help do something to save local businesses. King County Council approved the funding in September, and we were in market with campaign assets in October. We launched with a radio campaign, including ads and DJ interviews and podcast sponsorships. Since then, we have been rolling out additional components of the campaign. We did an initial county-wide shoot to collect visuals, focusing on balance and inclusion throughout the county. Some of those locations included the Museum of Flight in Tukwila, Damsel Cellars in Woodinville, KJ's Cakery in Kent, and Seattle Chocolate, among others. And these are you'll see some of the executions of the campaign highlighting these local businesses. And these are examples to showcase the design and styling of the campaign. Everything encourages people to mask up and get out and support local businesses. Differing posters are displayed throughout the county at businesses and in billboard locations. They all fall into the Do Something framework, giving the viewer more specific ideas on what they can do, like savor something, shop something, book something. And these are samples of how the creative will show you differing ways that the design can be used through these different advertising mediums. As you can see, we're using bright colors, strong photography, and fun artwork to capture attention and encourage engagement. Social media advertising works to provide our audience with different experience options, including highlighting multiple businesses and sharing suggested sample itineraries. As part of the initial filming and photo shoot, we collected personal stories from local businesses, from the owners, describing the impact that they've been feeling at their locations. These individual stories, as well as our main campaign video, are going to be used in social, digital, and TV advertising. The videos will also be available for viewing on the campaign website, dosomethingnearby.org, where businesses will be listed and can be added to itineraries. Some of these businesses include Boon Boona Coffee in Renton, Mr. Natural's Hair Salon in Renton, and Musang in Seattle and Beacon Hill, and then KJ and Damsel Cellars. I'd like to share the main video of the campaign with you. It's our Anthem video, as we've been calling it. This video shows what life is currently like while we hear a voiceover of what it used to be like. Then it goes through explaining what life could be like if we get out and do something safely.
We live in a do-something kind of place. Climbing, shopping, playing, dining, exploring, admiring, skiing, staying, getting coffee, which isn't an ing thing officially, but is for us. From Kent to Kenmore, Seattle to Snoqualmie, we are at all times itching to get out there and do. And while we've been through some tough times for doers, those times are over-ish. So why not safely revisit an old favorite? Find a new one, or mash a few together for an afternoon of dining, shopping, sightseeing that offers way more promise than, say, doing nothing. Get out, mask up, and support your local favorites.
So as I mentioned, the videos will be used in our advertising on social media and TV. And lastly, buses act as a mobile billboard. So these bus wraps use the bright, colorful imagery along with the similar messaging of the savor something, explore something. And earlier this week, we completed the second round of filming, focusing on locations within South King County. Some of those locations that you can look to see videos coming soon are from the Mint in Enumclaw, Pacific Bonsai Museum in Federal Way, and the Highline Heritage Museum in Burien. The King County Council approved $8 million in CARES funding. And of that, Visit Seattle received $6 million and the RTA received $2 million. We worked with Visit Seattle and their agency, Wunderman Thompson, to develop the campaign. So half of our $2 million went to the campaign development and the local advertising campaign. And the remaining portion will be used to develop South King County specific content and advertising within our region and our neighboring counties. We'll be working with our agency, Green Rubino, to take the creative and messaging that was developed to develop and launch the next phase of this campaign. I would like to introduce Jacob Vargas from Green Rubino to explain the South King County approach. Jacob?
Thank you. Green Rubino could not be more excited to be partnering with Visit Seattle and the RTA on this campaign. It truly has been a collaborative approach from day one. So as we look to our approach, we really wanted to bring forth the tactics and the work brought forth by Wunderman Thompson as we looked to build out our strategies. It was really important that we layered on top of those so that we could hyper-target the South King County area. It was also key that support for South King County businesses and locations were represented, not only in our messaging, but also featured in all of our creative. This slide represents a collection of media vehicles that were selected as part of the full King County focus. Criteria for these included current media consumption trends, ability to reach our target audience, those local experience seekers, and provided a variety of ways to deliver the message. So as we look to layer on top of what had been brought forth by Visit Seattle Wunderman Thompson, we had our own criteria that we wanted to look at to make sure of a few things and have a filter on how we approached our marketing and media strategies. One, being a good DMO partner. We wanted to make sure that our plan did not, was a complement and did not cannibalize the work being brought forth, and that we did not waste those dollars. Hyper-targeting, this was extremely important, that knowing that we wanted to focus on South King County specific. So picking media channels that could allow us to do that and be very specific in where we targeted our message. Impact. We wanted to make sure that we had the impact necessary to convey our messages. And then reach and distribution was extremely important because, again, we wanted to ensure that we had the scale to drive mass awareness for South King County in our media plan and marketing strategies. So here you'll see the collection of South King County media channels that were selected as part of that criteria. And we will employ these throughout the campaign. Some highlights from this are Zone Cable. The Zone Cable will have a hyper focus on South King County zip codes. We will employ local print such as the Reporters and South Sound Magazine, just to name a few. Specific out-of-home placements throughout the area. Over-the-top TV, again, that will be highly targeted and hyper-targeted, like Hulu and YouTube. We will also be doing PR outreach, and part of our PR outreach will include bringing influencers to the area, specifically seeing South King County, to experience all that there is to do and see, and share those stories out with their audiences. Another part is content partnerships. These will also help share those stories and get content out there through partners like Scenic Washington. Here's an all-up view that shows that between the two efforts of Visit Seattle and the RTA, that we'll be blanketing the South King County area over the course of the campaign as we look to support our local partners, encourage residents to get out and do something. Getting started, so we are excited to announce that our campaign for South King County will be launching here mid-November, which is just about a week away. So we have been moving very quickly to pull everything together. In addition, we will be looking to extend into those areas such as Pierce, Thurston, Kittitas, and Yakima counties as part of the campaign start. So we'll be looking for all of this to be out in market very, very soon.
So how can you participate? There are several ways. The first is to take a safety pledge. There is the All Clear King County Pledge, and this is a pledge that your business is following specific public health protocols so our region can reopen safely. And any business within King County will be included on this campaign website that allows people to find activities that they can do throughout the county safely. For those of you who have taken the Southside promise, you will qualify for the pledge to be listed on the website. Once you take the promise, the chamber will notify us, and those businesses will then be included to the pledge and added to the website. We are also asking our partners and our friends throughout the community to start using the hashtag Do Something Nearby on social media. This hashtag hasn't been used before, so we can populate it with all of our content and track and share it. So by sharing your content, you can extend the reach of your message to a larger audience and join this collective voice. We've also developed a partner toolkit. And so this toolkit, it'll get sent out, a link to it will be sent out from the chamber with this webinar information afterwards. But in the toolkit, it includes varying poster sizes of the posters that you saw earlier. So you can print them and display them at your at your business. There's also a sample social media content to help you craft a message. And there are also sample images and logos that you can use on your website, in your newsletters, and on social media. So by working together, we can share this message out and do something to help our community. And with that, I would like to open it up to any questions.
Perfect. So first question, and I'll just direct it to anybody, and anybody can chime in. But one question is just having to do with the length of the campaign. Why is it so short, right? We know the pandemic's going to be longer than unfortunately. So why the short timeline for the campaign?
Yeah, unfortunately, we have to spend everything by the end of the year because it is CARES funding. So we are able to secure some media placements into early January, but due to the CARES funding, we have to spend it all by the end of the year. So that limits us. So hopefully we can get the message out and have it be long lasting and stick in people's minds to go well beyond the campaign length.
Perfect. Awesome. Next question. You talked a little bit about some of the other counties, Yakima, Kittitas. Can businesses outside of King County participate in this program? Is it open to businesses outside King County?
Well, we encourage all businesses to support the campaign via social. However, this is intended for King County businesses. You have to be in King County to be listed on the website. So if you are outside of King County, we encourage you to share the message via social.
Awesome. Perfect. So just another reminder, if you have a question, go ahead and type it into the Q&A, type it into the comment section if you're on Facebook. It looks like I've got about 4 or 5 questions, so I'll just keep on going through the list here. So here's a question. Outside of the toolkit, how can businesses get involved?
Like Jacob mentioned, we are going to be doing a lot of PR efforts. So we are going to be inviting a lot of social media influencers to the area. And we are in contact with all the local media, trying to generate stories and articles about the local businesses, supporting them and the campaign in general. So if your business has anything to share, how it relates to this campaign or how we can support you, you can just send that information to me and we can help get that out.
Perfect. All right. Who do they contact if they want to be involved?
That would be me. You can email
Do you want
me.
to type? Yeah. Do you want to type your let's type your contact information into the chat too?
Yes, I will do that.
Perfect. Then people can have that really super handy. And then yes, of course, you know, you can contact Ashley. Why don't you go ahead and give your contact information too, so people can hear it.
Yeah, you can just email me at ashley@seattlesouthside.com and I'll respond. And it's in the chat as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Here's a question. They signed up for the Southside Promise. Do they need to do anything else to participate?
Nope, we will get your information from the chamber and we'll get you up there. I would just encourage you to download the toolkit next and start using all those assets.
Perfect. Great. I see a question in the Q&A. Someone is asking about a certificate of participation for this webinar. Someone is probably going to school at Polytechnic University of the Philippines. So how amazing is this that someone's watching us from the Philippines? So hello from SeaTac, Washington and Seattle Southside to the Philippines. If you email me, I would be happy to provide you or contact your school for a certificate that you attended this webinar. And my email is andrea@seattleSouthsideChamber.com. And I will put that into the chat. I love that we are a resource for people. So thank you so much. I'm going to type that into the chat, and then it looks like we have other questions too. So I do apologize. I can't do two things at once here. While I'm typing into the chat, you know, any other thoughts about the program that maybe you would want to share that we've gone over, either Ashley, Catherine, or Jacob?
I would just encourage everybody to take the pledge or the promise. That's the first step to being able to participate. And then by doing that, we will know that your business is taking the safety measures. Then we can work with you to be a part of this campaign. We can use whatever assets you have to join in the advertising. So if you have images of your employees wearing masks and interacting with customers, we can share that and just really add that to our collective voice to get it out there. So sign up for it, please.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think that's an important distinction to make, is that it really is it's not a heavy lift to sign up, right? So I know our Southside Promise is a SurveyMonkey link on our website. 5-6 minutes, you know, is the average time it's taking people to fill that out. It's probably 2 or 3 minutes to fill out the promise form, right, Ashley? So it's not a big investment of time, but a huge, you know, benefit in being able to participate.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 last questions here. So again, final call for questions. Continue to go ahead and put those into the Q&A. This question is talking a little bit about the metrics the RTA will use to gauge the success of the campaign. So I know, Jacob, you talked a little bit about the, you know, data and tracking and stuff. So maybe just a little bit more about, you know, how you're using data to track the success of the campaign.
We have 2 different ways. So actually, do you want to take this first about how the overall, so of course we'll be tracking through all of our channels, which are highly trackable. That's very key in anything that we're doing. And specifically, if we're trying to target the South King County area, we definitely want to make sure we're doing that. But the overarching KPIs, I'll have Ashley speak to those of what they'll be tracking. as part of this campaign?
Yeah, so through our partnerships, we are able to track cell phone data and credit card data to see where people are going to those businesses that we're promoting. So that is going to be a major component of it. And then we'll also be using tools to track social listening tools to see if we're helping to change people's perceptions of their level of comfort to being able to just get out and support businesses in varying ways. You know, we're not encouraging people to do anything that they're uncomfortable with, but just any way to get out safely. Does that answer?
Yep.
Perfect. Next, and I guess, you know, last question here. So just again, another reminder, final call for questions. Again, contact information, Ashley, ASHLEY at seattlesouthside.com, or my contact information, Andrea, ANDREA at seattlesouthsidechamber.com. So perfect. Are there any tourist spots that are not being promoted in this campaign that perhaps were unable to reopen or cannot reopen safely at this time? So could you talk a little bit more about kind of, you know, what that lens was that you used to decide, you know, what tourist features to feature and, you know, and what maybe are not quite ready yet?
Well, in terms of the locations that we specifically picked to focus on in the beginning, just in our video assets, we tried to make sure it was a range throughout the county. So all like north, south, east, west areas we're focused on. And then, like I mentioned, they are businesses that are able to sign that pledge. So you're certifying that your employees are washing their hands, you're taking those safety measures that are provided by the CDC. And if your business is not able to be physically open right now, there are other ways that we can support you by encouraging people to purchase gift certificates or whatever means your business is operating right now. We can find a way to support it, even if it's not physically open right now.
Well, I don't have any more questions here in the Q&A. So again, just really appreciate everybody that took the time this morning to learn more about the campaign and certainly all the work the RTA is doing. We have a couple upcoming events. Just want to make sure that you remember we have our annual meeting and holiday event, which will be December 3rd. And then we also have our upcoming legislative breakfast. Keynote, the Lieutenant Governor-elect, Denny Heck, will be our featured keynote speaker at that legislative breakfast, where we'll go over our legislative priorities for 2021. And again, here's some contact information. If you missed it the couple times that we went over it again, if you have any questions or need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. And again, thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay warm.